Each time, longer, slower, deeper breaths into the belly. And long, slow, deep breaths out. Continue in this way, long, slow, deep breaths into the belly. And long, slow, deep breaths out. Five more deep breathing cycles. Start to relax any effort or thought to the breath. That awareness and connection with the breath, body, sensations stay with you into your movement practice tonight. As you feel ready, start to invite some small movement into the fingers and toes. Let that organically grow into any movement that's calling to you. Maybe you start to reach or bend or stretch in any way that feels good. Find your way into drawing bent knees up and towards you. Bring each hand to the respective knee and start to gently push and pull the knees. Create a soft rocking movement where you arch the low back and then flatten. Arch and flatten. Keep hold of the knees. The legs are passive. The hands and arms are pushing and pulling, doing all the work. We're warming up the back body and the spine for movement. Keep hold of the right knee, deep squeeze the right knee as you slide the left leg long down to the mat, push long through the heel, through the back of the knee, and then gently switch sides on your next inhale. Deep squeeze the left knee as you slide the right leg long, press long through the heel, the back of the knee, and switch on the inhale. Long, slow breaths. Exhale, deep squeeze the knee. Inhale, switch. Remember, we started on the right, or maybe you started on a different side. We're going to go 4 more on each side. Finish on your second side. And then bring both knees towards you and deep squeeze both knees. Let your right leg float down to the mat so that the foot's on the mat, knee is still bent, pointing to the sky, arms down at your sides. Bring your left leg up to the sky and flex and point at the foot and ankle. And then make a few circles. Go in both directions. And then bring it to a pause. Reach long through that heel, reach long, locking out the knee as much as possible, straight or straight-ish leg, foot in line with the hip. Slide your right leg long down to the mat, vertical V. Hold it here, reach long through the heels, feet are hips distance apart. Arms down at your sides. We're going to start a little side-to-side motion. Keep your hips evenly grounded as you bring your leg wide to the left side on the inhale. Exhale, bring it across towards the opposite hip. Long, straight leg moving across. Inhale, wide to the side. Exhale, across. We're going to go to 8 here. Should be 5 or so more. We're all going at different paces. That's okay. Draw a bend back into your right knee so that your right foot is flat on the mat. Ground through that foot and the hands as you flex and point, flex and point. Bring your heel down towards the mat, lower the leg slowly. Heel touch down and flex and point all the way back up. Hold it at the top. Hold it long at the top. Inhale to prepare. Think of lifting your heart. Keep your face looking up at the sky. Face parallel to the sky. You're going to lift through the heart, head and neck in line with the body. On the next exhale, lift your heart straight up to the sky and bring the shoulder blades off of the mat. Hold it here, going to 5 breaths. Should be 4 more. And slowly lower back down. Bring that left ankle across the right knee and send your left knee wide, a little bit away from you. You don't want any torque in the knee joint or sharp shooting fiery nerve pain, so listen to your body. You might need less angle, or if it's no red flag sensations, you can push away for more sensation. Keep your hips parallel to shoulders, long sides of the body here, no scrunching on either side. Slowly release that knee, draw it towards you, deep squeeze that knee and give it a hug, and then let that foot float back down to the mat. Keep the left foot grounded, right leg lifts up to the sky, arms down at your side, start to flex and point the right foot. Right foot and ankle, flex and point. And then make some circles. Go in both directions. And then reach long through that heel, lock out the leg as much as possible, straight or straight-ish, as you slide the left leg long down to the mat, vertical V. Hold and lock out the legs, long straight legs, reach long through both heels, and hold it. And then keeping those legs locked out as much as possible, you're going to keep the hips evenly grounded as you bring that right leg wide to the side and exhale across. Going to 8 here. And hold that leg long at the top. Draw a bend back into the right leg so that the right foot is flat on the mat, right knee is bent. And then you're going to flex and point, slowly lower the right leg down towards the mat to heel touch. Heel touch down, and then flex and point all the way back up. Hold it up in the air, reach long through that heel, and prepare to bring your heart up towards the sky. So you're going to keep your head and neck in line with the body. Don't lift with the face. Keep looking at the sky the whole time. Lift your heart on the next exhale. Get those shoulder blades off of the mat. We're going to hold it here for 5 breaths. Long and slow. And then slowly lower back down. Bring a bend into that knee so that the right ankle comes across the left knee. Check in with the angle of your knee on this side. No torque in the knee joint, no sharp shooting fiery nerve pain. If it's there, lessen the angle. Find what works for you. If there is none and you can handle more sensation, you can push that knee away to deepen the angle. Long sides of the body, no scrunching, hips parallel to shoulders. Slowly, gently release, deep squeeze that knee towards the body, and then let the foot float back down. Lift the hips to bring your hands underneath the glutes so that your palms are facing down, thumbs touching each other. Then lengthen the legs long down to the mat. Lift your heart, lift your back body off of the mat so that you can tuck your arms completely underneath you. This might cause your glutes to slide up onto your wrists or forearms, that's okay. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, tuck your arms underneath you completely. Lift the heart up towards the sky. 3 big expansive breaths here. Let your rib cage and heart expand to the sky. Reach long through your heels, flex the toes back towards you. And then slowly release your hands and arms back out to the sides. Feel that arch in the low back. Walk your feet back to bent knees. Keep the arch in your low back as you bring your knees wide to the sides. Hands come to the knees. So keep the arch in your low back. Don't let it flatten as you fold. Keep the arch as you bring your knees towards the shoulders in that general direction. Bring your arms to the inner thighs. Then lift up the low leg to rest on your hands. Stay balanced on the back of the hips, not the low back. Keep the arch in your low back. This takes intention and activation. So while this is a hip opener, you need to activate a little bit in the low back to keep it in the hips. If your low back flattens, it becomes a folding of the low back. It steals the opening from your hips. It's just a different alignment. You get different results. Keep the arch there and let the knees fall wide and open. The inner groin, inner hips. Slowly release the arms, release the feet back to center. Help the knees come back towards the middle. And then lengthen your legs up to the sky, reach long, and then bring your feet wide to a wide V, legs into a wide V. Find a V that's comfortable for you. You might need to invite a little bit of movement at the hips or legs to help the legs open up here. Find it wherever you can. Bring the hands to the inner thighs. Again, you're not going to look at your hands or roll up. And this time we're going to keep the head and neck in line with the heart. Lift up the heart again. And you're going to keep your face parallel to the sky. Stay looking at the sky. Your hands will reach a little bit up in between the thighs, but don't worry about rolling up. Keep your eyes and face parallel to the sky. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, lift your heart, get the shoulder blades off the mat. Head and neck in line with the body, go in 5 breaths again. Crunch the belly, crunch the belly. Then slowly roll back down. Bring your hands to the outer thighs. Bend into the knees. Help them back together. Give yourself a hug. Let the feet float down to the mat. And then lengthen the legs all the way down. Bring your arms out to a T. Arms out to a T. So that your arms are in line with the heart. Keep your upper arms where they are, and then bend at your elbows so that your forearms are parallel at either side of your head. So your elbows are at a right angle, your forearms are parallel at either side of your head, and the upper arms are still in line with the heart at a T. You want your palms facing up to the sky. Touch your wrists, tops of the hands, and all 10 fingers down to the floor. So hug your wrists, tops of the hands, and all 10 fingers down to the floor. You should notice that this increases the arch in your low back. That's normal. That's your natural neutral curve. We're going to invite a rib crunch. So this is going to activate the lower ribs and crunch them down into the belly. Keep your wrists, Tops of the hands and all 10 fingers touching the floor at all times. You might feel some sensations in the shoulders opening up. You may or may not. That's normal. So start on the inhale with your natural neutral curve, big arch in the back body. On the exhale, crunch your ribs and try to flatten your back to the mat. We're going to go to 8, 7 more. Inhale to the neutral curve, hug the hands to the floor. Exhale, flatten that back. Big whooshing exhale. Relax your arms down to the sides. Walk your feet back to bent knees. And then bring your hands towards the knees and start that rocking motion once again. Knees, hips distance apart. Notice as you draw the knees towards you, you flatten the low back. As you push the knees to an arm's length above the hips, you create an arch in the low back. So do that a few more times. And then we're going to pause with the knees above the hips. You want to have an arch in your low back. Not a big, huge arch. Your ribs shouldn't be jutting towards the sky, but a little arch, just a little space between your low back and the mat. Lift up your low legs so that your low legs are parallel to the floor. Knees are at a right angle. There's parallel spacing between your legs. Toes point to the sky so that your ankles are also at a right angle. Stay balanced on the back of the hips. Keep that arch in your low back as you reach your arms to the sky, palms facing each other. Energize through the fingertips. Keep a smooth movement here. Keep your right ankles in your legs as you let the right heel touch down, right arm follows, left limbs go headward, and then switch. Left heel touches down. Keep your right ankles, left arm follows, right limbs go headward. Smooth breathing, stay on the backs of the hips, and keep the arch in your low back. Smooth transitions. Don't let your chin jet way up to the sky. If that's you, just give your chin a little tuck. Think of lengthening the back of the neck. So we started with the right heel touching down. Remember which side you started on. We're going to go to 5 more on each side. Finish on your second side. And bring it to a pause back at center. Find your parallels, find your right angles, find the arch in your low back. On the next inhale, both heels heel touch as you reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them back. Going to 8. And bring it to a pause. Hold it, hold the form, hold the lift. And then let the feet float down to the mat. Bring your arms down to your sides, palms facing down, palms and shoulder blades hug the mat. Feet start hips distance apart, right below the knees, then walk them a little bit away so that they're not directly below the knees, but a little bit farther. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, press into the feet. Squeeze the muscles of the legs to the bone. Squeeze the glutes. Crunch the belly, lengthen the low back as you come into a long, strong bridge. It's a long line from knees to chest. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, lift. Keep it going, just going to 5. Squeeze the glutes into the lift. And then the next one, we're going to lift and hold. Lift and hold. Hold the lift. Bring your hands together underneath your body so that you interlace your fingers. Touch the pinky sides of the hands down to the mat below the glutes. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Lift your heart and squeeze your shoulder blades together underneath you so that you create a strong foundation, a triangle of support along the arms to the shoulder blades, down to the pinkies. We're going to alternate. On the inhale, baby drop the right hip 1/3 of the way. Exhale, press. Just 5 on each side. Left side drops halfway and press. And then pause. Now this is a great place to stay. You can play with baby dropping both hips and squeeze and press. If you would like more challenge than that, press into your left foot, lift your right leg straight up into the air. Baby drop both hips 1/3 of the way. Exhale, press through the heel. Going to 5. Hold the lift, hold the lift. Slowly lower that right leg back down. Pause. Bring your weight into your right foot if you want, or you can keep going with both feet down and the baby drop and press on both sides. If you want, lift up the left leg. Reach long through the heel. Drop both hips and press. To 5. And then hold it, and lower that leg slowly. Ooh, ah. One more time, re-engage everything. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs. Ah. Crunch that belly. Separate the hands, separate the shoulder blades. Lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Arms down at your sides. Now for this next one, you're going to use your shoulder blades, use your palms, use your arms to push off of the mat to help with the movement. Bring your knees up towards you. Bent knees come up towards you. Hug your feet together, hug your inner knees together. So not hips distance, but everything is hugged together. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, push off of the hands and roll up. Bring your knees towards the face. Don't knee yourself in the face. I've done it. It doesn't feel good. Roll back down slow and controlled. Exhale, roll it up. We're going to go to 8 here. Listen to your body. Remember, everything I say is a suggestion. You can always make changes, make this practice your own. Lift both legs up into the air, reach long through the legs. And then lower both legs 1 to 2/3 until you feel that arch in your low back again. Hold the legs, feet hips distance apart. Now you have that parallel spacing between the legs once again. Reach long through the fingertips past the glutes, palms facing in towards you. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, lift through your heart. Get your shoulder blades off of the mat. But then once you lift up, try to hold that arch in your low back. Ooh, ah, double whammy. And we're gonna walk it out from here. So just cross chain activation. Walk it out, hands and arms, as if you're walking on sunshine. Yes. Keep your heart lifted, keep the arch in your low back, and breathe. We're going for time here, just a few more breaths. And lower back down, drop bent knees towards you, give yourself a hug. Bring the left knee or left leg cross over the right. Both knees floating above you. Bring your right hand over the knees, grabbing onto that right knee. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, hug the legs tightly together. Slowly tip the knees towards the right arm. Go slow. You don't have to come into a big full twist. You can find a little tipping point. You can even ground your right elbow and use your arm as a kickstand. Find your sweet spot where you feel a stretch in the outside of the left thigh, left hip. Relax if you can. Gently bring the legs back to center. Uncross the legs. If you need to touch down the feet to lift and shift the hips back to neutral. Deep squeeze the knees towards you once again. And then cross the right over the left. Bring the left hand to the left knee. Hug those legs together. Then just start to find that tipping point. Play with your unique body and where you need to find that sweet spot. Maybe you need to bring the knees a little bit away from you, more towards you. Where's your sweet spot to feel that sensation in the outside of the thigh and hip? Remember, you have the option to let your left elbow come down to the floor and use your arm as a kickstand. slowly, gently bring it back. Uncross the legs if you need to touch down the feet to lift and shift the hips, bring them back to neutral. Deep squeeze the legs towards you one more time. And then release the legs down to the mat. Slide them long. With softly bent knees, roll over onto one side, and then come all the way down to the belly. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes under and push up to a high plank. Widespread fingers ground against the mat. Push off the fingers and knuckles as you send your hips up into the air, down dog. Squeeze your upper arms towards the body as you lift your hips into the air. And then slowly come on back down to the high plank. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the glutes, lower the hips halfway, lift the head and heart. Touch the knees down softly, relax the feet and ankles, slide the hips back to the heels, child's pose. Take gentle care in sliding back down onto the belly. And we're going to play with frog pose. So start on your forearms, lifted head and heart. And bring your knees wide to the sides. And make sure that your feet aren't coming back towards the middle, but even wider than your knees. So start to play with bringing the inner knees, inner thighs, out onto the floor to either side. When you found what's comfortable for you, and you can also play with this on one side and then the other, half frog pose. When you're ready, lower the head and heart down, and you can bring the arms wide to the sides as well. You can rest on the forehead or turn onto one cheek or the other. Or you can rest your face on the forearms. It's up to you. It's normal to feel stiff or tightness in the beginning moments of this pose, but relax what you can and settle in. And over time, this will change. Doing one side, half frog, go ahead and switch sides. Gentle care, bringing the legs back to the midline, back to neutral. Draw the hands underneath the shoulders and push up back to child's pose, hips back to heels. And roll on up to seated. Find a comfortable sitting position, facing forward. We're going to finish with nodi, shodhna, or alternating nostril breathing. This is a wonderful practice for balancing the nervous system. It can help with insomnia. It can also, I've heard it be prescribed by a medical doctor for controlling unmanaged high blood pressure. So this breath has many, many benefits. It's a great practice for you to incorporate into your life. In order to do alternating nostril breathing, you use the right hand. Ordinarily, I'd mirror you, but I just can't for this one. It's only done with the right hand. So bring your right hand up and start with the hang loose symbol, the thumb and the pinky sticking out. This is beginner's Vishnu Mudra. If it's comfortable for you, you can use your left arm as a kickstand to help prop up the right arm. And regular Vishnu Mudra would add the ring finger to the pinky. Mine don't really stay together. It's hard for me. So if it's comfortable for you, you can bring them together. I'm going to start with a warm-up. Block the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale, exhale 2 times through the left nostril. And then second side, block the left nostril with the ring finger or pinky. And inhale, exhale through the right side 2 full times. We'll start all together. Block the right side, thumb side. Inhale fully through the left. Plug both sides at the top, pause. Release the right side, exhale. Inhale through the same side, right side. Plug both at the top, pause. Release the left side, exhale. That's 1 complete cycle. We're going to do 6 more. finish at different times. Whenever you finish, let the hands float down into your lap. Soften the eyes to a closed or an easy gaze. Allow for that natural flowing breath to return. Notice the energetic signature of breathing in this way. How do you feel as you scan your awareness throughout? What sensations are present? What's the overall quality of energy and mind? How do you feel in comparison to when you got here? Did you have any aha moments? Or create any new muscle memories? This amazing being that you are is perfect. Right where you are in your practice, on and off the mat, is perfect. Invite gratitude for all that you are, for making all of this time and space for your practice here tonight. Time and space to come home to yourself. Let that gratitude and loving kindness fill you up and carry you into your night and week and life. We'll close this practice bringing hands into prayer position in front of the heart. In Kripalu we say Jai Bhagwan, which is just like Namaste. The divine in me honors and appreciates the divine in you. So I bow to all of you and say Jai Bhagwan. Thank you all so much for joining me and sharing your beautiful practice. Thank you for letting me share my practice with you. I love to be here with all of you. If you ever have questions for me, please come chat me up. Otherwise, have a wonderful night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.